Oh! Did it work this time? It worked!
It worked!
High five. Oh. Okay.
There was some serious mad tech supporting going on right before we went on air.
What did we learn about how to tech support last night? You go like this.
That's right.
And you turn knobs.
And you turn knobs. Well, it was like double tech support. We had our special guest on the phone with us already without you guys for a test call. And they were just totally nerding out on technology, and it was kind of awesome. There was some goat sacrifice involved.
In fact, well, everybody knows that the way you get tech support stuff to actually work, not tech support the person, but technology is, yeah, you sacrifice a virtual goat.
A virtual goat, of course.
Can you make the goat noise for me?
I forgot. I can make a sheep noise.
Make a sheep noise.
Meh.
Okay, good enough. Anyway, our special guest is in the technology. It's in here,
there,
in the
trapped
technology. See,
in the technology.
See, that's what our special guest looks like.
That's right.
Oh, they have no face. But soon they will be joining us. She, y'all know who it is.
It's Kat.
It's Kat.
Kat with a K, not with a C. Kat is not actually a feline. She is, in fact, mostly human.
She's a female.
That's right. And she will be joining us tonight live from this magical device.
Live. From the device.
So,
ninjas.
Kat is an amazing artist and a good friend of mine, and I am going to geek out on her art all episode long because I'm a huge fan. She is indeed my favorite artist, and I hope to be just like her when I grow up because she has some incredible skills. She's an illustrator, she is a colorist, she's a digital painter, she's a graphic designer, she's a mom, she's a dog groomer, which is amazing. She has so many fun dog stories, and she's taking part in Mermaid Madness. So I will show you a super awesome clip that I've put together of Kat's art and my favorite parts of Kat's art. I almost made this into like a 20-minute video because I was getting really excited with showing you guys everything. But the links to all of her websites and groups and everything are, of course, in the video description and in the flick. So I'm probably talking a million miles a second right now because I'm really excited. So it's going to be that kind of an episode.
And Lisa really wants to be like Kat.
That's right.
Because Kat's the only cat who knows where it's at.
Let's show them. So, Katherine Dattilo.
Ta-da!
Yay! The best digital artist that I know. Kat has this amazing talent for creating fantastic glow effects. And in fact, she's done a lot of digital colorings of my pages. So I'm going to cycle through a few of my favorites. Many of you know these colorings from my books, and you've also seen Kat's posts in the group, of course. And she just does these incredible glow effects that blow everyone's minds. So actually, most of the questions today are about the magic of her glow effects and how she even makes that possible at all. But she also has a coloring book that she released recently. I did a whole episode on that. So do check that out as well. It's all ocean themed and quite incredible. And these are her pages that she's submitting for Mermaid Madness. They are, of course, on Etsy. And this is the first page colored by her. And this is the second page that she just finished recently. And it's already up in her shop. And this is the second page colored. And I said Etsy, didn't I? She's not actually on Etsy. She has her own website. And on that website, she has a shop. And you can purchase all of her amazing art directly from her shop. The link to which is
in the video description.
Below. And actually, there are a whole bunch of other links that I should put in the video description that I completely forgot to put there, like the link to her book. But I think it's all on her website. Her website is really wonderfully organized. So as long as you go to her website, you'll be able to find the links to absolutely everything. I also have a few things here physically that are Kat's art that I wanted to share with you guys. This is my book, Fantastic Familiars, Volume 1, which was actually Kat's idea that forced me to create Volume 2. She did the digital coloring on the cover. We had a contest for the cover of this book, and Kat won with this incredible work of art. And the biggest project that we are working on together, that we have been working on together for several years now, is my graphic novel, Shell Shock. Shell Shock is based on our dogs. This is our dog Shelby, whom you all know and have met. She's the one in the dinosaur pajamas. So we have 2 volumes of this book already out. Didn't put the links to that in the video description, I don't think, but I will after the show. So I do.
It's like you've never done this YouTube thing.
I know, because it's like, it's my book. It's like people know Shell Shock. So I do all the line work in these, and Kat does all the colors, and it's absolutely amazing. And this book comes in print, and also as an ebook. So on a computer screen, it's even more incredible because all these colors with her magical glow effects, they actually glow. So I'm not gonna make you read the whole volume, but I do want to show you the incredible. This is Foxtail. This is when Shelby meets Foxtail for the first time, and this is the 2nd volume, of course, also done by Kat. And originally they were 6 volumes planned, but then a YouTube channel happened and things got a little bit delayed. So eventually we will get back to the 3rd book, but for now we're putting it on the shelf. However, these books are both good reads just on their own. It doesn't need to be continued, or you don't need to have the whole thing to be able to enjoy them. And there's one page in here in particular that I wanted to show you guys, because our next flick is directly related to it. La 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 la. This page, the 2-page spread. So it seems like a lot of people don't know how digital coloring or digital painting works, and there's a common misconception that it's easy, and nothing could be further from the truth. Digital painting takes hours and days and a lot of skill. So in fact, it takes years because it's her lifetime of experience that goes into the coloring of this page. And of course, we have to go back and forth, and I have to explain my vision and the energy behind the story to her so that she can depict it exactly the way that I envisioned it. So these books, each volume, it's only about 30 pages long, and each volume takes us maybe 4 to 6 months of non-stop work to produce, which is a miracle in itself because we're only 2 people. Usually it would be a team of 7 or 8 working on a volume like this. But I want to show you a very fast clip of Kat's time lapse of how she colored this page. So I don't know what the speed on that is, but it looks really fast. It's probably she's taking frames every few minutes, even, not even a few seconds. What would you say?
No idea.
No idea. But it looks like she was streaming this.
Oh yeah, totally.
So this could have been several days of work. We'll see some funny things pop up on the screen, like her other projects, and like I think her face pops up for a second in there. I just left it unedited the way that she sent it to me. But you can see how much work goes into, it's not click and fill. You have to actually create all these layers. You have to build up the lighting. Kat tends to work on dark backgrounds. She sets up her screen as this middle dark gray, and then she adds the light effects first, and then she adds the shadows, and then she keeps building and building and building these layers, and they're all saved in several separate files so that she can go back and forth. So when I send her line work, she needs several days, sometimes several weeks to come back with the coloring so that we can put these things together. So each one of these books is like half a year worth of really hard work. And it's amazing just like looking through this, looking at every single page, you know exactly how much work went into it. So that's Kat. That's my hero, the person that I look up to as an artist the most. So I am very honored to have her on the show today. And I think we should release her from her virtual prison and set her loose in our stream.
Does that mean I got to hit my phone with a hammer or something?
Yeah.
I'm not hitting my phone with a hammer. I'm not even pretending to hit my phone with a hammer.
How about some scissors?
I'm not hitting my phone with anything softer than a pillow. Before we do, we have a couple of questions for you. I'm not hitting this one at all. I'm not going to do it. No. Not going to do it.
I happen to have a pillow that I'm sitting on.
I would find like the one random feather rock in that pillow.
Feather rock.
Mitch would like to know, how is your autumn?
My autumn? Oh, quite lovely. Thank you. We don't really get the golden leaves and everything, but the weather is quite pleasant. We have grass growing now because during the summer everything just dries and it's kind of deserty and sandy and everything's yellow in the summertime. But then as soon as fall starts, we get the first rains and it's a little bit overcast and everything starts growing again. So things are actually just turning green right now. It's quite interesting and very, very enjoyable weather. So let me just announce that the color that everyone voted on today was purple. So today's color is purple. I have a whole bunch of purple pencils. Most of them Black Widows, but there's some Prismacolors in here as well, different shades of purple. And of course I have my orange from yesterday, which I'm still allowed to use. Every color that you guys vote on gets added to, don't take my orange. But today I will be working with purple and I don't actually yet know where I'll be adding it. So you guys will get to see me have these mental struggles with myself. We'll find out. Maybe I'll make purple fur.
The last question before we bring Kat on was, when are Matt and Dawn joining the stream?
Matt and Dawn will be with us for the first Mermaid stream that's happening on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So we'll probably call them within the first half hour of the show.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
And now...
Oh, but switch.
Okay, hang on. And now nothing will happen. Okay. Hang on, let me set up the picture-in-picture thingy. Dinosaur puppets. Sock puppets, puppets. Make a puppet happen. Whoops. Shoot. Okay, now I click that, and then I see you.
Oh, you do?
Okay, you've been switched. You are offline. Yay! So, and now, the moment we've all been waiting for. It is time for me to find the mute button. Hello?
Hello!
I have to turn it back up. Can you hear me? This is...
such a delay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, there's actually not that much of a delay. I'm just, the delay is in my head.
Well, not on here, just watching
everyone else
watching
hear?
the thing. It just switched over to the overlay.
Oh, that delay. Yes,
Overhead.
there's a delay on the stream from when we talk of, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute.
Yes, that's quite standard for YouTube.
Okay, so that means that what you're about to say, nobody will hear for 30 seconds. But you can't actually do anything with it. It's like living in the past.
But 30 seconds in the past.
All right. Hi, Miss Katherine Dattilo. Would you please start out by introducing yourself for all of the maybe 0 people in the chat who don't know who you are?
Oh, no. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Kat. I go by Kat rather than Katherine, just because.
Oh, I'm so fired. I'm so fired. I just called you Katherine. That's it. I'm gonna give up my tech badge.
That's like what I'm like formally called by interviewers and stuff. And some of my family calls me Katherine, but I've been going by Kat since I think 12 or 14, somewhere around there.
Cool. So I didn't just make it up.
I'm an artist. I wear many, many hats. I have 2 kiddos who I am struggling through trying right now. And I help my husband run our development software company. And before that, I ran an online store and shipping department, and I was a dog groomer for almost 10 years.
Yay!
And yeah, I just do a bunch of stuff. But I've always really, really loved art, and I'm really happy that that can be my full-time job.
Nice. And when did you start drawing? Were you an illustrator before you became a colorist, or was it the other way around?
So I've been drawing pretty much forever. I always wanted to be some kind of artist. I just didn't know what when I was a kid. But I started taking it seriously I was about 14 or 15, so I bought like Andrew Loomis, Jack Ham drawing books.
Nice, nice.
Started really trying to learn anatomy and muscle structure and all that stuff. When I first seriously dove into it, I really actually wanted to be a cartoon animator, but I really fell in love with the painting and rendering and realism, and kind of let the cartoony stuff fall by the wayside. But I still like to keep some playful silliness.
Do you only do digital work, or do you still do you draw on paper? Do you scan your sketches? Like, what's your relationship between physical and digital?
I do both, actually. Usually I prefer doing my layout and my rough sketching and all of that good stuff on paper. Usually I'll work on a big, let's see, here we'd call it an 11 by 14 size drawing paper. I can't remember which A something or other that is. I usually use Prismacolor erasable colored pencils to sketch and shade, and then when I go to refine, like when I'm making line art for my books, I have a really small light board that uses LED lights that I'll use to lay a smooth piece of paper over and draw over the lines with either ink or a mechanical pencil. And then sometimes too, I will either draw from scratch digitally, which is kind of hard because it feels so different. Like it's really slick on the tablet surface. And then other times I will take a photo of my drawing and then import it into Photoshop and then make the line art over that.
Okay. And do you do you only work in Photoshop, or do you work in other software?
Right now I only have Photoshop. I would love to have Corel Painter again.
Yay, Corel Painter!
I can't talk. But I don't even have a disk drive on my computer right now, so that's not happening.
Well, no, everything's digital.
So we have to pay for Photoshop anyway for other work stuff, so might as well use it.
Nice. And when did you start doing digital stuff? And did you find that the learning curve was pretty steep, or did it just come naturally to you?
Yes, and yes, and yes. Very, very difficult when I first started. So I started back somewhere around 2002, 2003. I bought a teeny tiny little off-brand tablet from Fry's Electronics. And I practiced drawing. I can't talk. Drawing.
Drawing.
It's okay, we can't talk here either.
Have another shot of tequila.
I don't have a drawer.
She's in the right place.
Weird early version of Corel Paint at first that was it was like a wooden desk with a piece of paper overlaid onto the top of it, and that was it. There were no layers or anything. So that's what I used at first. And then I got a job and bought my first copy of Photoshop, I think like mid-2005, and I bought a small Wacom Intuos as well. So that's the little tablet that kind of looks like a mouse pad to folks who don't know what that is, and you use a pen with it. So I got that, and I just practiced. One of the things I loved doing the most was taking like a webcam picture of a coloring book and putting that in there and just practicing. So it'd be like kids, Disney stuff, all of that, whatever. It was just so that I could learn how the heck to use the program because it was so frustrating. Now I think it's much easier to learn because like we have the internet and stuff.
Right.
And I didn't. It was just me in my bedroom like crying, trying to figure out all the stupid menus.
I hate you, drawing tablets.
Literally crying and pulling my hair out over Photoshop for years.
You stuck with it.
Learning curve.
You stuck with it. It's amazing. I've tried using Illustrator a couple of times, and both times I ended up almost smashing my computer, and I swore off Illustrator. I will not go anywhere near it.
Lisa hates vectors.
Illustrator.
She hates vectors more than she hates labels.
That's right. I hate vectors more than I hate labels.
I've had to make vector labels for like hobby electronics and stuff before. I hate it so much. There's almost nothing in this world that I hate more than using Illustrator. I hope to get past that. I'm trying this year to learn editing and Illustrator, but I really, really hate it.
I hear you, man. I absolutely despise it.
Oh,
I
someone
have
in
no
chat
opinion.
just asked, how far do you live away from Kat, Lisa?
How far away do we live from Kat?
Oh, so far away. Days.
Gosh, how many miles is that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm up in Oregon.
Oh, you're in
US.
Oregon?
She's in Oregon, and we're in
7,000 miles?
central Chile.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah. I remember my trip to
Pretty
Seattle
far.
was something around 7,000 miles. Yeah, we're in the opposite sides of the planet, basically. Mitch just won a set of Black Widows. Congratulations, Mitch.
Oh, yay!
Congratulations.
Yeah, I just won a set of
I
Widows.
have not had Black Widows yet.
How wonderful. Oh, you will love them.
Widows.
I'm hooked on mine.
So your book, Bloomin'.
In fact, I'm using one right now.
And Lisa's interrupting me because she's rude.
Sorry. That's exactly why, because I'm rude.
So I'm going to pick up an accent. What accent should I use?
British.
British?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, no.
So your book, Bloomin'. Oh, because I'm British, so I can use the word bloomin'.
That's right.
Your book, Bloomin', and much of your other art. Oh, no, I'm screwing it up.
Oh,
Okay.
Australian.
All right, so you got this whole book thing and this art thing, and it's all like ocean themed and stuff.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yes.
You want to know why I called it Bloomin'?
Why?
Why?
It was going to be blooming, but I could not get Monty Python. Bloomin' this and bloomin' that.
You should have just called it Spam and Vikings.
That's right.
Spam makes sense.
Spam, egg spam, ham and spam. Spam. Okay, so where do you get the knowledge and inspiration for marine life art? We got to keep this thing on track.
Let's see. I actually wrote down this answer because I was afraid I would just go off the deep end. Okay, so it's kind of like the marine thing is kind of sort of a happenstance. Like I just happened to start on that particular subject, even though I have a ton of marine artwork. I do love drawing all different subjects, especially animals, especially people and faces. Ugh, I'm so into it. I really like nature documentaries and shipwrecks and diving, open oceans, that kind of stuff.
We have so much in common.
And it's kind of like a childhood favorite as well. Like I was right around that age where you are sort of defining yourself as a person when Titanic came out. And I grew up in Chicago, and I got to go see the exhibit of all the stuff that they pulled up from the wreck,
Nice.
like right around there. I've also been really into aquariums and zoos and nature museums and all that stuff, so I feel really, really comfortable around animals. And I know, especially when I was a kid, I just fervently wished that I could be a dolphin or a mermaid or something. So I just feel at home, like in the undersea stuff.
Nice.
I just love it.
Do you dive?
No particular reason. I just love it. I have never gone diving before. I have snorkeled,
Oh, okay.
It's different.
but
Huh.
yeah, very different. I hope to one day, and we are going to be moving out to the coast pretty soon here. We're just trying to finish our house.
The roof.
Yeah, the roof and then the interior. It's slow going because it's like a few hours drive to get out there and back. And then now we're all on lockdown, so it's just super fun.
Yeah. Do you have plans to release
Yeah,
a second
I'm
book?
really looking forward to it. Yes, I am about 3/4 of the way through Bloomin' number 2, which is all jungle animals.
Jungle animals.
So it is. No fishies in that one. It's going to be birds, frogs, reptiles, fluffy, fuzzy creatures. It will be so much fun, and I'm planning on doing like 3, 4, 5, 6, however many Bloomins I have in me. Like as long as I don't run out of things to draw, I'm good, and I don't see that ever happening.
Right. So one of the questions that we have is if you're going to make more fantasy gothic style pages after Mermaid, or if you are going to stick with nature and animals.
Yes, I actually have a whole bunch of mermaids and creepy sirens in progress right now. I want to do, if not a full book, at least half of Bloomin' worth. Gosh, that thing has like 200 something pages in it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I want to do a full edition of mermaid type creatures. I'm having so much fun. Like the break from drawing fur and scales is wonderful. Oh, well, scales are a given, but it's different. Elf says, "Do I have a snakeity snake in my new book?" Yes, I do. I am in the middle of drawing a yellow ball python right now.
Nice.
And the scales are very slow going, but it's very cute.
Yeah.
I didn't just abandon you guys. I'm looking for my Bloomin' art in this mess of paper.
I switched them to this camera so that they didn't think that you just like went to the bathroom.
I
or
just
something.
left.
Just like vanished. I got tired of making dinosaur sock puppet things.
And I'm probably making a lot of noise.
No, you're not making that much noise. You can always mute yourself. No, it's all good.
I can't find it. Oh, yeah.
So, everybody wants to know about the glow effects. What is your secret for that amazing glow look?
I've given up.
Secret? How scandalous. I don't know, man. Like, there's no particular secret to it. I think, like, when I've tried to go and replicate it exactly, I can never do it exactly the same. It's just kind of a process. So I usually start with really dark tones, like usually a nice dark gray or dark purple, something that doesn't hurt your eyeballs when you're staring at your screen. And I will go in on a layer on top of that. Well, first to explain, guys, I use Photoshop. So what that generally means is I'll have a layer with my line art on top, and I set that to multiply. So it basically just shows up as like clear lines casting down on the rest of the picture. So I'll have that on top, and I'll lock it in place so I don't accidentally touch it. And then underneath that, I'll do like a completely flat blank color, and then I'll start putting in all my shadows. So it's hard to explain. Usually when I look at a picture, I kind of know immediately where I want my light source to be, what the mood is. Like, it just kind of all happens magically in my brain. So yeah, I start putting in my shadows. I start putting in my main light source. I usually try to have at least 2 or 3 light sources in the picture. So the main one, like your main lighting or sun or whatever, and then the reflected surfaces, like the light that would bounce off of other surfaces. I know there's a name for it, and I can't think of it right now.
I think it's just a reflective light source.
Yeah, probably. I believe you. And yeah, I just work my way into defining features. And then as I go, I get more and more detailed. And then I'll usually, on a layer on top of that, I'll take like a big soft brush with the low opacity and kind of generally put in more shadows over everything. And I just kind of work up layer and layer and layer and layer until I get to a sort of glowy phase. Oh dear, Leah's yelling mom for me.
There might
There's
be one
my
other
dog.
place.
He says row.
That's Pie!
Come here,
Mr. Pie!
I know you want to row at Leo. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's any particular magic to it. It's just a big process of layers.
Okay.
I wish I had a magical answer. Sorry.
No,
I got it!
It's good. Oh, Lisa just manifested something. What did you
Oh, what'd
manifest?
you find?
This is a page from Kat's book that I did in watercolors. This was my first coloring of a page from Bloomin'. And this is also the page that I did, that I have the recorded version of the coloring of this in that episode that I did on Kat when her book came out.
Octopus.
The octopus, yeah.
I love how she came out. It's beautiful.
So I think
That was so cool to see.
the illustrations in that book are like perfect for watercolor coloring. They're amazing. They're really friendly for watercolor. So yeah, big fan.
There you go.
I found it.
What do you imagine that Mermaid is going to be like? Are you excited? Are you scared? Will you be streaming? Who's coloring your art? And when is that stream happening?
I am not nervous at all because I already got my pictures done. That was the only thing. I was like, what if I can't finish on time? But I at least managed to get 2 of them done, and the rest I'm just putting in the book, so whatever. I am super excited to see everything roll in, and then our wonderful friend and guest of the show before, Miss JoBeth Sexton, is going to be coloring my artwork. And you guys can find her at YouTube. Her username is JoBeth Sexton's Crafty Cauldron. She is going to be coloring one of my mermaids on Saturday. I believe it's around 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Oh, cool. Right after
I
our
think,
show.
Lisa,
Then.
you have the coloring schedule.
Yes,
linked
correct.
In your description.
In the
too,
description,
right?
yep.
All right then.
Yep, because I cannot calculate time zones in my head, but
Yeah.
I will try to be there the whole time and hang out, hop around to different people's streams. I myself am not streaming this time, just because things have been chaotic here.
Okay.
So,
No problem. We have a question.
Yeah,
We have a question for
hopefully
Lisa. So hold on just a moment. Elf wants to know
Sure thing.
what paper did you use for Mr. Octopus?
Oh, for Mr. Octopus, I actually used proper watercolor paper.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
A white.
White.
Yeah.
White.
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 Yes, but very, very thick watercolor paper.
Now let's talk about. I'm like I have two pens in my hand and I can't use either of them. Let's talk about Etsy. You use a personal website instead of using Etsy. What prompted you to go that route? And do you have any advice for people who might want to get off of Etsy?
excuse me. Okay, so basically, for us, it didn't make sense to add another subscription service, which I believe, like, just from what I looked into Etsy, like, you have to pay, like, a weekly fee, and then they also take a cut of your sales, right?
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we already run a company that does software development. We do websites and back-end stuff for clients, so we already have the software and the knowledge, so we were like, we'll just make me a nice website as well.
And it is a nice website.
Yeah, and we already owned the web domain. Like, I already bought KatherineDattilo.com quite a long time ago, actually, just in case I ever wanted to use it. And then I also have years and years of experience running an online shop and shipping department because we had a hobby electronics company that we ran for a long time. As for advice of getting off of Etsy, I'm not sure.
I make it sound like a drug.
All from scratch.
So you're not running like WordPress and WooCommerce or something like that. You guys actually build a custom backend.
Yeah, it's all custom backend.
Okay.
It is integrated into WooCommerce, so we can have like custom T-shirt pulled in as well. But it's all pretty custom. So yeah, I'm not sure about advice to give to other folks, just because like I don't know where I would start.
Sure.
Right.
I know that there are other companies out there that WooCommerce and such. You can get templates on there. I'm not really sure about how to go about doing it. I'm sure that would be an option.
Okay. Hang on, I'm answering Mitch really quick in the chat. There you go. There's my very thorough, detailed, one-handed answer for Mitch.
Yes.
I see a question from Elf. Says, ask how she's going to offer more freebies eventually on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah, I plan to.
See, there you go. That's the answer. Yes.
Yes.
It takes so long that it is hard.
Sure.
It's hard to get them out in time, but I
Sure.
would love to.
In your plans coming up for future books, do you have any idea, any thoughts about doing a book on mermaids or on beautiful ladies? Or because one of the questions we have here is from somebody who really, really loves your mermaids and would like to see more stuff along that line.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm working on more mermaids, more sirens. I might add some more cool mythological beasties.
Okay.
More pets.
I would
We
love
want
to.
more pets.
Merpets, merdogs.
Pets. Yes, I already reached out to Lisa the other day. I was like, would you mind, pretty please do my own? Like, I don't want to rip you off. But
I'm
it's
like,
such a fun
absolutely, more merpets.
idea. I want to make one of my poodle pie and my cat pickles.
Oh, pickles.
Which we didn't even name, but we both have food name critters.
Hi is a character in this book. Where is he? There he is. This is Mr. Pie.
Sweet Mr. Pie. Since Lisa did a wonderful
Oh, he looks
picture
adorable.
of.
He's like a clown. Or like a steampunk clown.
He's a very dapper poodle.
Dapper poodle. There you go. That's
He's
what-
giant.
Is
I
he
remember.
really?
Yes, I remember
Little
when
top
he was a
hat.
puppy.
Yeah, he is close to 70 pounds.
No,
He's a big boy.
But
it's a little bigger than Foxtail.
fluffy. He looks big.
Okay. Fluffy.
Fluffy.
He's big and fluffy.
What's your favorite medium when you make art just for yourself?
Oh gosh, just for myself. I generally will gravitate towards my watercolor pencils.
Nice.
So I'll usually sketch with like a mechanical pencil in my sketchbook. And then yeah, whenever I'm having fun or I'm just sitting and coloring and watching TV or something, I almost always use watercolor pencils.
Do you lick them?
Even if I don't use water with them, I just like the way they feel. They're kind of gritty and weird. I have polychromos that I love as well, but they're so expensive I kind of get intimidated about using them. So, just being honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll do digital stuff too, but like today I've been sitting here just doodling on a piece of paper with a pencil.
Nice.
So we have 2 questions left. One question is...
Oh, lots of questions today.
Well, one question is actually 2 questions, so maybe we have 3 questions left. The next
Our 4 questions are.
Nobody knows how many questions we have left. How long have you known and worked with Lisa, and why do you think you work well together as artists?
Let's see. Okay, Lisa,
Yes.
I think that we have been Facebook friends for like 4 years now.
Let's look on the
I
publication
think I saw
date
that
on
pop
this.
up on Facebook, our little friendiversary thing.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
"What? That long? That's crazy."
Check
Yeah,
it out.
We bumped into
We-
each other in Secret Garden Gallery,
20.
which was a coloring group. And let's see.
Yeah, so that must
I
have
guess as far
been
as
like 20. So I just saw that our first book together was published in 2018, and that I think was already after like 2 years of
that's
knowing
been
each other.
2 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So something like 4 years?
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. And then I think we have kind of a similar way of thinking about like art problems. So like we communicate really well. We're both open to suggestions from the other person. And, you know, with any relationship or friendship, any of that, like you kind of have to have a certain chemistry with the other person. And we certainly do.
Yeah, we do.
And you have to be willing to communicate well with each other. Like, we've had a couple bumps where we misunderstood things, but we just talked about it. It's fine.
Yeah, we just worked them out.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we just randomly bumped into each other.
Me
It's been
too.
a really fun time.
Yeah.
We have a blast.
She's smiling.
Grinning.
She has a big grin. Okay, so somebody totally disrupted my count of questions by throwing a question in the chat.
Oh.
Rain Chains for Less would like to, it's okay, that's why we're here. Rain Chains for Less would like to know, what are your favorite watercolor pencils? Do you have a brand that you like?
Okay, so I have 2 different sets. One set, I have Prismacolor watercolor pencils. I got the tin, and I think it has a tiger on the front of it. I don't know why that's important. It just popped into my head. And they are very, very smooth and creamy and really nice to work with, much like regular Prismacolors. And they're really nice and bold. I don't know about the light fastness of them, though. And then my other set, which I have been buying since, I think I was about 14, I have Derwent watercolor pencils, and they are my absolute favorite. And they're the ones that kind of have the weird texture that I like. And the colors are so bold and amazing. I love them.
Okay.
Nice. Very
Excellent.
nice.
I
Then,
like a lot of Derwent stuff.
then
Excuse me.
the final question is from me. And if you were given a choice and you could join Donald Trump's Space Force or Adrian's tech support's Space Force, which one would you join? I won't hold you to it.
Adrian.
Thank you. Thank you.
The original.
The original
My husband
Space
was
Force.
in the Space Command of the Air Force.
Was he really?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a
Flight suit
second.
and everything.
Wow.
That's crazy. We had no
I was
idea.
laughing so hard watching it. That was great.
Space Force.
It was
Space Force.
just chef's kiss. Perfect.
From the
So we
Department
have
of
a
Space
Space Force update, but that'll come after this. Okay, well, that's it for questions.
Alrighty.
So is there anything that you want to
Super
just
awesome talking
toss
to you guys.
toss out to the community? Do you want to say anything, parting words?
I think you guys are all awesome. Thank you so much to everybody who's gotten a picture from me. It's been incredible because it's always been a dream to do this, but I didn't really have the confidence to actually go ahead and do it. It's kind of scary to put your things out in the world for people to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys all for being awesome, and I can't wait to come sit in on more streams and see what everybody does.
Yay!
Fantastic. Well, you've been great on the show. Thank you so much for taking time out of your
Thank
busy day
you.
to join our little tiny live stream.
Well, thank you very much, and no worries. I'm just making clay animals with Leo today.
Oh, that's awesome.
All day.
All right, do you want to say goodbye, Elise?
Bye. We'll see you on Saturday.
We'll see you on Saturday.
Bye, Lisa.
Bye.
Bye, Adrian.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you later.
The end.
Yay! She's
Ladies and gentlemen,
awesome.
Cat not Katherine Dattilo.
Cat not
Cat
Catherine.
not Katherine. That's right. Please don't fire me. I had no idea that the United States Air Force Space Command was converted to the 6th branch of the U.S. military and is now called Space Force. I had zero idea until my dad mentioned it last night, and I guess some other people mentioned it.
Somebody who watched the stream, several people from the stream wrote to us.
Yeah, I randomly
afterwards.
just sent Space Force to Allison, and she hadn't watched the stream, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about Donald Trump's thing? I'm like, what?
What?
Donald Trump's thing? No, Space Force. So I went and looked it up, and it's super crazy that Kat's husband was in the Space Command. United States Air Force Space Command was created in 1982 and existed until 2019 when it was converted to Space Force.
Space Force.
And for those of you who watched the stream last night, you will remember that Tech Support's Space Force was documented in 1980.
That's right. And it's the only Space Force that's from the Department of Space Force.
That's right. Space Force from the Department of Space Force with ventilated helmets. You know
And teleputers.
they don't have teleputers or ventilated helmets.
That's right.
Helmets.
Helmets.
Helmets. We all know the truth. We know that my elementary school teacher totally ripped my idea off and now works for the government.
Yeah.
And,
She sold your idea to
they
the
sold
government.
my idea to the United States government. Space Force.
Space Force.
Space Force will forever live in our hearts. The original Space Force.
But we have proof. We have proof of the original Space Force. They didn't count on that
Yeah.
when they stole your idea.
So, yes, there you go.
That was awesome. Kat is a lovely, lovely guest.
Yes.
So what's happening in the chat? You guys were like totally on top of the chat. Like she was able to see their questions coming in as well.
Yep. Kat, if you have a YouTube channel, please post it in the chat.
Kat is very easy to find everywhere because she uses very smart domain names.
Katherine Dattilo.
Yeah, it's just Katherine Dattilo. So you can search for her full name on whatever platform you wish and she'll come up.
Did you do a video on the octopus? I remember you did a video on the octopus.
I did the whole video on octopus. I will put it as an end screen link.
Okay.
But the video has to upload on YouTube. So a couple of hours after we go offline, when I'm able to add an end screen, I will end it with the link
You'll
to
add
this.
a link to the video.
Exactly.
But it's on your YouTube channel right now.
It's on my YouTube channel right now, yeah.
Okay. So Elf, you can search in her YouTube channel and you will find a video on how she did Mr. Octopus.
Yes, he's actually on the thumbnail, so you can't miss it.
Well, you could. But
You
we've been watching a lot of devs, so it's deterministic probabilities. Everything is possibly free will or possibly preordained.
possibly not.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, you still don't actually have any clue of what's going on.
Well, I know that we're going to watch the rest of it tonight.
With ice cream.
Yep.
All right, so I've been using this purple as requested. The purple colors that I have been using are dark purple from the Prismacolor set, which grew 2 inches overnight. I'm not really sure how that happened, But magical things happen in my pencil box, and sometimes things go in and they don't
There's so many jokes there that I
come
can't
out the
make.
way that they were.
Pencil box growing
Inches.
Jeez. And you're like, and I don't know what happened.
And I don't know what happened.
Okay.
So yes, my magical pencil that's growing. And I used 3 Black Widow colors. Tulip, which is my favorite. He's like a light lilac color. Purple Haze, which is very similar, a little bit darker.
All in my mind.
And Burgundy. And purple and orange are my favorite color combination. So I don't know if you guys organized because everyone voted for purple today. It was kind of creepy. But thank you for doing it, whether it was intentional or not. I really, really enjoyed working with purple, with orange, because for me, they complement each other perfectly. Even though they're not technically complementary colors on the color wheel, purple is across from yellow and orange is across from blue. But if you shift them a little bit, I like that tiny bit of a distortion that just the 2 colors really bring out the best in each other. And of course, we also have a little bit of yellow and a little bit of blue in this picture. So the whole color balance really works out. But purple and orange is my absolute favorite color combination for drawing and coloring, as many of you know. So I will continue working with these colors because now they're in my collection. Oh, and for my orange, I'm using this neon orange from Prismacolors. So on the next stream, which will actually happen next week.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we have a big announcement to make about that.
My lips are zipped. My lips are sealed.
No, we're done talking about growing pencils.
One of us is.
Tomorrow will be the first day that we're taking a day off from survival coloring.
Say it isn't so.
But it's for a good cause. We need to run dress rehearsals for Mermaid Madness. Tech support needs to be fitted for his Poseidon outfit.
Yo, I'm gonna look like Aquaman. It's gonna be awesome. She's gonna spray paint pectoral muscles and a 6-pack on me. It'd be great.
Just like duct tape a 6-pack of beer to him. But seriously though, there's a lot of preparation that needs to go into the streams, and we'll be streaming both Saturday and Sunday 2-hour streams. And I can use the extra time to prepare because it's been a very busy week. It's still the middle of a very busy week. So to keep things sane and professional, tomorrow will be a day off survival coloring for me. But I will see you guys on Saturday at 9 a.m. in the morning for the big show.
9 a.m. when?
Eastern.
9 a.m. Eastern. U.S. Eastern.
Actually, the schedule, which is in the description below, is very friendly. It's like a chart. So on the left, you have the names of all the streamers, and across you have time zones. So you can either find the name of the streamer and come across to whatever is your time zone, or you can find your time zone and come down to see what the order of streamers are. Yeah.
That's very helpful.
Yeah, this is Belinda's work. She's really
Nice.
good at this. And no streams are conflicting with each other. Everyone's on perfect schedule, so you
Yeah,
won't...
the streams will not run long. We will cut. We have hard stops.
We have a hard stop. In February, we had to have a hard stop because we were trying to get to our 1,000 subscribers. And we had to stop at 999 because even though 1,000 happened right after we cut the stream, we had to stop exactly on time because someone else is streaming after us. Oh, and speaking of numbers and subscribers and everything, my Facebook group, Tom, now has 999 members.
Nine.
So
Number 9.
it
Number
may
9.
actually already
9.
be 1,000.
Number 9.
Because people keep
Number
joining
9.
all the time. And to celebrate, we decided yesterday to celebrate our 1,000 Facebook group members, we're going to have a Space Force party.
Space Force.
Space Force.
From the Department of Space Force. Not the other Space Force. Not
Our
the poser Space Forces.
The tech Space Force.
Although the other Space Force can like drop a satellite on us if they want
that's
to.
true.
So
That's
we
true.
should
We'll
probably
have
be respectful.
the original Space Force.
The original Space Force.
The real Space Force.
OG Space Force.
the real Space Force party. And probably it will be end of May, beginning of June, after the whole Mermaid Madness thing blows over. Because even though Mermaid Madness is a weekend of streaming, the madness actually continues all month long because of the events and the collaborations and all
It's
the
1,000.
things.
It's 1,000. It's 1,000. Cat's Place is 1,000. Fireworks.
Space Force!
Space Force.
So now it's official, there will be a Space Force party, during which we'll be having a draw-off, a split-screen draw-off with me drawing and Tech drawing for...
And so we won't be able to see each other's, but you'll be able to see both of us drawing at the same time.
Exactly, and it's, of course, space-themed, and I'm
draw planets.
I am terrified because I don't actually ever draw anything space-themed, so I have no idea what spaceships
I have years of experience
like
drawing space-themed stuff.
or anything. So I think I'll be drawing an alien to cheat because it's kind of humanoid and I can draw humans. So I'll probably draw space dogs.
Okay, space dogs.
Space
Can
dogs.
you draw Laika?
Yeah, in the helmet.
I'll draw Sputnik. Sputnik's just a sphere with antennas.
Yeah, that's how we drew it. When I was a kid, we would draw it like a circle with the three feet. So yes, that will be happening to celebrate the group.
I'm coming up, so you better get this party started. I'm coming up. I'm coming.
So that's it. That's it. I won't see you guys until Saturday, but I'm super excited. Both streams will have giveaways, so do try to be there live because it only works if you're there live. On Saturday, we'll have Matt and Dawn Davidson as our live guests on the show to talk to us about Disney and working for Disney and drawing for Disney and drawing in general and their amazing love story. And it's just going to be a big, happy Disney, happy drawing ending thing. It's going to be wonderful.
I'll be dressed as Ariel.
And then, that's right, he's going to be my little mermaid. And on Sunday, we are going to be drawing lionfish, which everyone's really excited about. And we have some diving stories to share with you guys. Not all of them are very pro lionfish, but
Well, we can talk around those
but
parts.
we'll talk about it. They are amazing, beautiful creatures, and
They're also an invasive species, and they're in places where they're not supposed to be. So in that context,
Exactly.
they're not super beautiful. But if you take one, and you put it where it's supposed to be, and you look at it in a vacuum, it's fine.
It's fine.
They're very beautiful. Oh, but don't touch them.
But don't touch them.
They're
yeah.
super poisonous.
Yeah.
In fact, I think
So,
tonight that will be what we don't lick.
don't lick
lionfish.
Don't lick lionfish.
Don't lick lionfish.
But also during
Really bad.
during the lionfish episode, I will have a huge announcement to make. So you guys, I've been trying to keep my mouth shut all this time. It's really difficult. It's come up like 6 times just today, and I kept it to myself. I've been good, but I
don't even know what it is.
will make. It starts with a B. But I will make that big announcement on Sunday, and you should be there because it's going to be exciting. And
I was walking up Fifth Avenue when Balloon Man came up to me.
so
He was round and flat and spherical with the biggest grin I'd... It's not Balloon Man, is it? Biggest grin I'd ever seen.
It might
Robin
be.
Hitchcock and the Egyptians, ladies and gentlemen.
it might be. It might be. Well, on that note, we'll say goodbye and farewell, and we'll see you
Farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
on Saturday. Don't lick lionfish.
Don't lick lionfish.
Lionfish.
This public service announcement was brought to you by Space Force.
From the Department of Space Force.
Bye, everyone.